game. You had the 10-point lead. Kind of take us through what happened there and how disappointing it is to give up that lead when you really had them on the ropes.
Well, I mean that part of it is extremely disappointing. I thought, again, we had some chances to end the game on offense. Had some plays there that coulda, woulda, shoulda type of deal to extend the drive and not allow them to have another possession. I thought our pass rush was really good and they made a couple plays. And so again, that's very frustrating when you're extremely close to finishing it out, and that's when you need to finish it.
On the right, Steve Mims.
Mark, can you talk about decision to move Charles over to defense and then kind of still have him a little bit in offense? And is that something you expect to continue going forward?
I think so. Yeah, he we had a discussion after last week's game of just some different options of things going forward, and that was one that he welcomed, and between the offense and the defense kind of worked that out.
How do you think he did at defense?
Well, we'll have to wait and watch the tape. His athleticism and his speed obviously showed up, and we'll kind of grade it out once we watch the tape.
Front right, Ryan. Go.
As far as leadership goes, who would you expect in the locker room to really kind of stand up and get these guys prepared for Washington?
A bunch of guys, and the character of this team will be tested, and I anticipate a great response. That there will be, the naysayers will come back out again, and the doom and gloom, and that's where you have to again get back to fix it mode, get back to cohesive mode, come together and forge ahead.
Andrew on the right.
Mark, with the exception of Jeff getting hurt, it looked like the wind knocked out of him early on. It looked like he was the guy you were going with tonight. Midway through the fourth, why go with Taylor there?
Just kind of the set of plays that we had in mind. We thought he was best for those circumstances.
Front right.
How much does this quarterback situation still hold back the Oregon Ducks this year? The lack of Vernon playing, and then these two guys who struggle.
Well, that's your opinion, and it's a team deal. It's a team thing. Whether we, whatever, shut them out on defense and we make it happen that way, or we do great things in special teams, do it that way, do great things offensively. It's a team deal. We win as a team, we lose as a team. It's not one guy, one position, ever. Those guys are working their tails off to improve, just like someone that you think is doing a good job is working their tail off to improve.
Coach Frost is in the back, right here in the middle. Tyson.
Hey, Mark. Was Darren Carrington cleared to play today, and that was something maybe your guys' decision to hold him out, or was it still a process?
It's not our decision. I think the easiest way to describe that is there's a process for reinstatement, and we're somewhere in the middle of that process.
Right next to Austin.
Mark, is there anything that, looking back on it, you would do differently on those last two possessions of regulation, the 2 3-and-outs?
We'll watch the film and see. Again, I thought that there were a couple things that were there that we can coach up and get right. And there's obviously some things from a clock standpoint that will be discussed, and just how the game ended will certainly be discussed.
Anything else? One more, Austin.
You mentioned the clock. It looked like there was some confusion on Washington State's last possession with whether the quarterback was down or whether the pass was incomplete. Did the clock run like it should have in that sequence?
Are you talking about the end of regulation? Yeah, I thought the end of regulation, there were a couple times where they were winding the clock and the clock wasn't running. There were times when, again, I'm on some edge of getting. If you snap the ball and the ready for play is not blown, that's traditionally seen that enforced as a penalty. It's a delay of game of snapping the ball before the ready for play, and so we'll discuss that.
So you thought they did snap it before the ready?
They did. I mean, they did snap it before the ready for play. That was stated.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.